Canucks Last week, where I try to cover everything Canucks hockey faster than an Elias Pettersson one-timer. I'm just kidding. Imagine if I turned off the video right there. Game 21 at Minnesota, the Canucks are trying to start off the week back on the right foot, having lost 3 in a row. Richard Bachman gets the start in net, giving Jacob Markstrom a rest, which a lot of Canucks fans had been asking for, especially on Twitter, but the poor guy had not started an NHL game since April of 2017. First of all, the Canucks didn't give him too much help in front, and secondly, he showed off a few jitters with that untimely giveaway leading to a Minnesota open net goal. Bachmanity would not be had that night. Anyway, I want off this 6-game road trip, you want off the road trip, we are all just trying to get back to YVR. Game 22 versus the Montreal Canadiens, hockey night in Canada at home, and finally the Canucks are off of that 6-game road trip that saw them go 1-4-1. That road trip was like the ending of The Hangover, where a bunch of characters are missing teeth and have face tattoos, excepting it's The Hangover 3 because it was terrible. Honestly, all this game did for me was give me more respect for John Shorthouse. I mean, sure, Jim Houston will always hold a special part in my heart as he was the voice of my childhood Canucks, but Shorty's been around just as long for me. Yeah, he had that iconic dragon slaying call, but the fact that he memes as well just adds so much more to him. Ta-da! Overall, pretty exciting game. It could have gone either way. It was 2-2 with just over 2 minutes left in the third period, and I guess MTZ had a DJing gig at 12 West after the game and wasn't really down for overtime, so he just took an unnecessary penalty, dumping Jesperi Kotkaniemi. Jonathan Drouin would score on the ensuing power play. Canucks lose 3-2. I will say that Carey Price has had front row seats to the Vancouver Canucks' future. Last year, he had to deal with Besser all alone in the slot, and that ridiculous laser of a top shelf snipe absolutely surgical, and this game he had to deal with an alien death ray. What a one-timer from EP, and he was only just warming up. Game 23 versus Winnipeg, and what a difference between these two teams. It really shows how much more the Canucks have to go in their construction. Winnipeg's veteran core of Mark Scheifele, Blake Wheeler, Dustin Byfuglien, Brian Little, and Tyler Myers is insulated by elite youth in Patrick Laine, Nikolai Ehlers, Kyle Connor, Connor Hellebuck, Josh Morrissey, Jacob Trouba, and not to mention great depth pieces like Jack Roslovich, and they still have Christian Vesalainen in the minors. The Canucks were absolutely outplayed and outgunned, but it was an exciting game nonetheless. EP follows up his Montreal game with pretty much the exact same shot from his spot, wiring one past Connor Hellebuck. And Nikolay Goldobin scored an absolute beauty, intercepting a puck and dangling through the slot and just tucking it far side past an outstretched leg and the post. And finally, to last night's game against the Anaheim Ducks, Nikolay Goldobin definitely had a stick it to the haters type of game. It really felt like he was buzzing all around the ice. He scored with his toe off of a JV-18 wrister, and he also set up Bo Horvat for a great power play goal using that high slot pass that Bo then tips past John Gibson. Bo Horvat also had a very strong game for himself, doing everything, including a goal and an assist, as well as a 57.58 Corsi for percentage at even strength. Now, really the crux of this game was Jacob Markstrom had a performance that we have seen way too much of during his tenure as a Canuck. He made some brilliant saves that kept the Canucks in the game, but he also let in a goal that just left you wondering how that one got in. It's frustrating to watch, mainly because he seems like such a good guy off the ice, and he finally switched masks from that one with the ears. That was just weird. I'm sorry, Marky. Unfortunately, his effort wasn't enough. Not that the blame is solely placed on him, but the Canucks are now losers of 7 straight, when they really played well enough where they could have gotten a point out of it. My choice for player of the week goes to Nikolay Goldobin. In 4 games played, he had 2 goals and 3 assists and averaged 19 minutes and 31 seconds of ice time. He's also been one of the main facilitators on the Canucks power play as of late, and it showed with his 3 power play assists. He also averaged 3.5 shot attempts per game at 5-on-5, which is not too shabby in itself. So some thoughts to end off the video. At 5-on-5, Bo has barely played 124 minutes with either Sven Berchi or Brock Besser, his 2 most common line mates last year. This year, he's played about 240 minutes without them, and he still has 21 points in 24 games. Just wait till he has some real line mates. Nikolay Goldobin now has 12 points in his last 12 games. This is a guy with top 6 potential being placed in a top 6 role, and honestly, he's doing quite well for himself. He is still raw, but I think he's becoming more of a solution than a problem, and I've been very happy with his play as of late, and I do think he is the best option as of right now to be playing with EP. Put skilled guys next to skilled guys and let them play off each other. To follow that thought, why not put Sam Gagner on the other side of those two? He displayed amazing vision last night on that pass to Derek Pouliot, and I can only imagine what would happen if that puck found its way onto the stick of Goldie or EP. Right now, Vancouver is operating as a two-line team in terms of offense. Why not load up one of those lines with your most skilled players? But Horvat has shown that he can produce regardless of his wingers, so maybe throw him Jake Virtanen and you can use some of that speed to do some damage, and then load up that other line with Nikolay Goldobin, Elias Pettersson, and Sam Gagner and let them go at it. At the very least, that'll be some very exciting hockey. And defensively, I don't think that could be as bad as some may think, largely in part due to Elias Pettersson. So that's all I've got for you guys this week. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know by leaving a like, as it really helps me out knowing if I'm doing stuff right or wrong. And if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting subscribe and joining all of us on this Canucks journey. And with that, stay calm, keep your head on a swivel, and have a great day.